Chag Purim Sameach to all of you. I'm just gonna have a quick note, please, if there is any Americans here, I'm gonna say Haman. Now don't pronounce it as Haman. It's not, push it to the American accent. So now you're saying, oh, big deal. What's the big deal for it? Because Haman is another name for Moses. The Moses that got the Ten Commandments at Mount Sinai, the same one. Where's the source for it? In the Gemara, Masechet Bava Batra, says here in page 14b, saying that the people that composed the book of Psalms, of course, King David, Adam, the first man, Malke Tzaddik, Psalms 110, Abraham composed Psalms 89. By the way, Adam composed Psalms 139. Moses, who composed Psalms 90 to 100, and Haman, who composed Psalms 88. Yedutun, who composed Psalms 39, and Asaph, who composed Psalms 73 to 83. So now, Haman. Now, if you look at the Gemara Masechet Bava Batra, page 15a, another page over it, saying the list includes Moses and it also includes Haman. But Rav has said Haman is another name for Moses. For here in the book of Psalms, the name Haman is written, and elsewhere in reference Moses it is written, in my entire house he, meaning Moses, is trusted Ne'eman. That's also his other name, Haman, which the spelling is Heiman. Haman. So now I don't want you to push it to the English to the American accent. So now we're going to talk here about Purim, which is today. But there's also secrets. In fact, Torah codes. So now the Gemara, the oral Torah asks, where is Esther and Mordechai in the Torah? What do you mean, where's Esther and Mordechai in the Torah? For example, I wrote a book. 30 years later, they became a big event, something like that. And another person said to me, where's this big event in your book? My book was written 30 years ago. Now remember, the Torah was written 3,300 years ago. And the book of Esther was written 900 years later. From the Torah, 900 years later. That's where the book of Esther was written. So now where will we find Esther in the Torah? But when the Gemara asks, it is necessary. So now where is Esther in the Torah? Tell me. From the verse of Parashat Vayelech, it is in Deuteronomy chapter 31. So now Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 14, says that I will hide my face. Hashem's going to hide his face on that day when the Jews will abandon Hashem and he will forsake and he will go to idol worship and will leave the religion. What is the Hebrew for I will conceal my face? Aster asterim panay mehem. Aster. What's the spelling of Aster? Aleph, Samech, Tav, and Resh. What's the spelling of Esther? Same letters. The Gemara asks, oh, what's the connection of I will hide my face and Esther? What's the connection? Where is the connection here? Do you see any connection? No. So now, you circle the Aleph of Esther, count 12,196 letters, you get Resh. Oh no, Samech, I'm sorry. You get the Samech. Count 12,196 letters, you get Tav. Count 12,196 letters, you get Resh. Esther. 12,196 letter space between. Space. So now, why 12,196? I mean, what about 49? 7 times 7, 49. That's the common skips of the letters. Why 12,196? The Chachamim said, it's 12,196 and we're proud of it. We're proud of it. We're proud of it. Why are we proud of 12,196? Because if you go to your house, go to your room, lock yourself there, Open your light. Open the Megillah of Esther. Count all the letters. No skip counting. Just count every single letter. How many is it? 12,196. 12,196 letters. Also in Mordechai. Where's Mordechai in the Torah? Mordachia. Mordror. I meant Mordror. Where's Mordror? That's the spices. Now, what is Mordror in Aramaic? Mordachia. Also Mordechai. And circle the mem of Mordechai. Count 12,196 to get the Resh. Count 12,196 to get the Dalet. Count 12,196 to get the Kaf. Count 12,196 to get the Yud. Mordechai in 12,196 skip count of letters. So now I'll show you something very, 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 very interesting that you have to be super duper modern. What do you call modern? To not believe that the Torah's book from God. I'll show you this picture. So now, as you saw, the picture has the 3 sons of Haman. Those 10 sons, in reality, Haman has more than 200 sons. That's how many sons he was. And there are 10 children that helped him to destroy the Jews. So now, I want to remind you, when it says in the Megillah, in the scroll, in the book of Esther, that the king, it represents Hashem. And when it says the king Achashverosh, says the king Achashverosh, the king of Shushan. So now, in the end of the Megillah, Esther says to the king, meaning to Hashem, says, Hashem, give us the chance to repeat this miracle. What was the miracle? No traitor has ever betrayed the Jews. So now, make this miracle repeat. So now Hashem said, okay, fulfilled. Now you saw the 3 letters of Haman's sons. They're tiny letters, Tav, Shin, and Zayin, which the numerical value in the American calendar is 1947. What happened in 1947? 11 people died. 1 person committed suicide before the event that they were supposed to be killed happened. He committed suicide. Now let me tell you the story. When King Achashverosh, the king of Shushan, said to Haman, what should we do to the citizen that the king loves the most, talking about Mordechai? And Haman, with his foolishness, thinking it's him, said, oh, you must let him wear the most beautiful royal clothes, and let him ride on my horse, and let that Jew control the horse so that he won't go wild around the city. So now Haman was the richest man in all town. He was the richest man. And Mordechai was the head rabbi of the Sanhedrin, of the court, the Jewish court. So now, Achashverosh said, okay, Mordechai, wear royal clothes, sit on the horse. Haman is dragging him. Now, Haman had a daughter that was helping him. So now, in the old days, when they would, for example, poop, they would pee, they would put it all in one barrel, so that and for some time they would bury that waste. Now this daughter of Haman was preparing this waste for Mordechai, to spill it on Mordechai. They made a gift for Mordechai. Now the daughter of Haman saw Mordechai and Haman, and he poured the waste onto his father's head, thinking that it was Mordechai, and Haman was sitting on the horse. But it was all the other way around. So he poured it, and he saw that it was his father. He jumped from the terrace and committed suicide. Now, this is the 10 sons of Haman and Haman himself reincarnated back because of what Esther asked to repeat this miracle. To repeat this miracle. And this is the daughter that committed suicide, and that is all the same Nazi that committed suicide before the execution of those 11 people. Now, before they were executed, those 11 people in 1947, one of them screaming, "Purim to the Jews! Purim to the Jews! Purim to the Jews!" Who American citizen knows Purim? They know Hanukkah, of course. They know Rosh Hashanah. Yes, it's very noisy. They know Yom Kippur. People they're starving. They know Sukkot. They have tabernacles. They know almost everything. But Purim, who knows Purim? He was screaming, "Purim to the Jews! Purim to the Jews!" So now, how did he know that it was Purim to the Jews? Because he was one of the Haman's sons that was reincarnated back into a Nazi soldier that was going to be executed. Now, one rabbi was curious. He said, "Oh, what if I see this where they were hung, where they were killed? I meant where they were killed." And he went into the jail. He saw a big wood on top of the ceiling, and they were all being hung. 1947, they were being hung. They were being hung. Usually they execute them by shooting a gun or like that. They don't usually hung. And the person who hung them, what was his name? Mr. Wood. This is no coincidence. I mean, what could be any coincidence in here? No coincidence, definitely not. Okay, let's say that Nazi soldier knew Purim. But why would he shout Purim to the Jews? Do we have any sechel here? Do we have any common sense here? Do you have any? If you have, you wouldn't say it was coincidence. No way to say it's coincidence. So now, we all know that the story of Esther is very, 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 there's many sufferings. But why is there Megillat Esther, the book of Esther, and not Megillat Maccabi, not book of Maccabees? There are two rabbinical holidays. They both have giant miracles. So why couldn't we make a book of Maccabees, book of Hanukkah? Why? The answer is because the story of the Maccabees it's obvious that there's a miracle that it lasted for 8 days. It's obvious. But in Purim, the miracle wasn't obvious, so it had to be written down in a book. Now, another question. Why do we call Megillat Esther, not Megillat Mordechai? For real, who is the most important person in the story? If you're lefty, you would say it's Esther. If you're a feminine, you would say it's Esther. But in reality, it's Mordechai. So now why is it called Esther? Megillat Esther. Why not Megillat Mordechai and Esther? To be equal. Why? The answer is because if you read the whole Megillah, if you really read, concentrating, focus, you really read, you not find one word of Hashem in it. Hashem, there's not a single word that says Hashem or God. No. None. No. So now why? What is the connection between Hashem's not written in the book of Esther and the book of Esther being named Esther? Where's the connection? Because what does Esther mean? Concealed. Hashem's name is concealed and it's not said in the book. So, thank you so much for watching. Chag Purim Sameach.